Hey buddy, Luxinda Swirl here. I am starting another tumbler. I'm gonna try once again to work with a 30-ounce skinny. I have sanded it and sprayed it with Rust-Oleum 2X spray paint in the shade of lilac. Very, very pretty pale purple. Pastel pale purple or whatever you want. Anyway, it's very pretty purple. And then we are going to put two different colors of glitter over this, hopefully. And then onto that, we'll put a layer of resin. Actually, I'll spray a sealer. Let's see, let's go back. So we do sanding. Then we do a layer of primer spray paint in lilac. Then we do Tack-it, and onto the Tack-it we will put our glitter. And then we will seal the glitter with another spray paint that is clear. We'll just seal the glitter in place. Then comes a layer of epoxy resin. A thin layer just to cover everything up and give us a smooth surface. To that smooth surface we will apply a Waterslide Decal, and then finally another layer of epoxy resin. And at that point, if we're really, really lucky, it should be done. If we're not lucky, there will be some things to fix. But that's the general way this is going to work. All right, I'll put this aside, let it dry. I'll meet you back here in about 20 minutes to half an hour. Now I am going to attempt my first ever two different colors with the Tack-it method at the same time. I don't know how it's going to go, but we're going to try. So for the bottom 2/3, which would be like that, I want to have this pretty, it's called Fresh Prints by Peachy Olive Glitters, which is a great glitter company. I'll link to them below. And another one of theirs is silk, and I want that to be the top third. So it's an iridescent, and I think the purple of the lilac base will show through some. So it'll be basically a very light and then a darker purple at the bottom. I'm not really trying for an ombre. I've never done an ombre before. Well, actually I have, but in soap, this is different. This is with glitter on a tumbler. That's a whole new thing for me. So I'm not going to worry so much about ombre blending at the point where they mix together. I'm just going to try and get 2/3 purple, 1/3 silk, or whitish. We'll see how this goes. So figure about there. Okay, now we will endeavor our 2 fingers Tack-it method. There we go. Well, the bottom isn't quite as purple as I was hoping. Or maybe the top is purplier than I was hoping. I like it though. All right, next up, this goes out on the deck and gets itself clear coated with spray gloss sealer. Okay, we're back. We have a beautifully epoxy resined Tack-it method 2-tone purple tumbler, 30 ounce, ready for our first water slide. And I have to tell you up front, I'm really, really nervous about this because it is it's big. I printed out 2 so that I could hold them up next to the cup and try and make my decision at the last second. I think this one matches the purple better, but I also think because this is a clear water slide that these flowers are mostly going to disappear if I put it on here. So I'm going to go with this one. It is going to wrap around completely. So there will be a seam line, which I will deal with later. But first we have to get this on, and I'm nervous. This is the biggest water slide I have done so far. So first step, I'm going to cut it all out, removing as much of the extraneous paper as possible, but since the edges will disappear under the next layer of epoxy resin, I don't have to take all of it off. I did not ask the Cricut to do any cutting. I just told it I was doing a print and cut, so I got the border around it. And now I'm going to cut off as much extra as I can. All right, so I'm going to get this wet in the water. I'm going to try, hopefully, to put it down on here like this, wrap it around and slide the backing off. And then there will be some tense moments of trying to position everything while I still can and squeegeeing the water out. I have my tool ready and I have paper towel ready. So here we go. Wish me luck. If you're seeing this, it means it probably worked out okay, but I do sometimes post fails, so yeah, that could happen. All right, into the water it goes. About 60 seconds, at least until it starts to slide around on the backing. I will need to get this wet, but I'm gonna wait. It's okay that it's curling up a little. We'll encourage it to flatten out. Making sure it's fully watered and moisturized. Not moving yet. Okay, get this moist. And my tool is here. Okay. Now we want to get rid of all the wrinkles. And that looks like it's going to be tricky. I can't even tell where the edges are anymore. Woo. Where's my seam line? There it is. Come on now. This has been plasti dipped, so it is a little stretchy. So I'm going to take advantage of that. Try and even this out all the way around. It may be difficult. I hope you can see this okay. You see that? This may actually work, you guys. It may actually work. I shouldn't sound so surprised, should I? But wow. The plasti dip actually definitely, I will tell you now, definitely helps. Because it enables me to take it off and reposition it like I just did. And stretch it without shredding anything, which is very important at this moment. Squeegee the water out, make sure all my wrinkles are gone.
I'm reminding you, call the vet.
Don't mind Alexa, she's just telling me what to do. She's like that.
I'm reminding you, call the vet.
This, I'm really pleased. That looks really good. You can't even see where the join line is. Hot diggity dog. Oh, that makes me happy. Now, obviously what it looks like under resin is still yet to be determined. And I do want to put another water slide on. I figured I would start with this one. Okay. So I am going to let this dry and then we will come back and we will place our other, look at that, isn't that pretty? We will place our other Waterslide decal. Stay tuned. Hey, we're back. This is dried on here. It looks beautiful. Very pleased with how that turned out. I will say that when people tell you to have a very light background, like white, I thought very light purple would be good. And you can certainly see the flowers, but I think they would be much more striking if this were a white background. You could still use glitter, just make sure everything's basically white. So lessons learned for next time. I think after looking around at my design on the bottom, I want the main graphic, which is this. It'll be in reverse. I mirrored it. I want that to go above this little purple flower here, so up here. So that's what I'm going to shoot for. Okay, so this decal was printed at the same time I printed this one, and I used Waterslide, you can't really see this very well, Waterslide Decal transfer paper specifically for inkjet. It's clear, which means whatever's in the background shows through. I mirrored the design, so it is going to go on like this, and then I will pull that off, the backing paper off, and we will we will hope for the best. I have my squeegee tool again. Put it in upside down, about 60 seconds. Make sure every bit of it gets wet. So what I started to say was I printed this on that inkjet decal waterslide paper, and I sealed it with Rust-Oleum 2X spray gloss clear 4 times, each time waiting 30 minutes in between, and then after the 4th layer I waited another 30 minutes, and then I sprayed it with 2 layers, again 30 minutes in between, of the Plasti Dip Glossifier. All of this is down in the description, and that makes it sort of like it's plastic covered and a little bit stretchy and not nearly as fragile as it would be without spraying with the Plasti Dip, which means it's easier to move around without ripping it to shreds. And the 4 layers of clear gloss sealer are to seal the inkjet inks on. Without them, the inks would run and you wouldn't get this design. Not yet. So I'm going to put it right about there. I think this is about, what did I end up doing? Either 4 inches across or 3.5 inches across. It's pretty big, but 3.5 inches across, you can still basically see the entire design. Okay. All right, here we go. Get my cup good and wet. Pull off my backing paper. There's my design. I'll move that out of the way. Now, as long as we've got water everywhere, I can still move this around a little bit, but it really doesn't want to. So it's a good thing I like where it landed. I think if I were doing this right side up and not mirroring it, I think it's easier to manipulate, move it around after the fact. If you put it on, if you slide it off face up, like most water slide applications, if you watch other YouTube videos, you will see people slide it off the water or the backing paper onto the cup instead of turning it over like I've been doing. Mine is sort of a cheat or a hack, but it also means, as I'm discovering, that it's a lot less easy to move around afterwards. So you really need to be good with where it's going. But on the plus side, this is so much easier than having to fiddle with all the little pieces that can fold over and whatnot if you're doing it right side up. So I'm in favor of this method for the most part. One of these days I will try it the other way just so I know the differences between the two. Right now I'm just saying that because this is the only way I've tried and it's worked pretty well for me, but that doesn't mean it's better than the other way necessarily. All right, so we squeegeed all the water out, making sure all the edges are pressed down, all the water is out from underneath. And everything good and stuck down, because when I put the resin on, we don't want it to get under the water slide. That would just make a total mess of things and float the the graphic right off the cup. That would be bad. Put my glasses on and see where we are here. Well, hot dang, I think that looks pretty darn good. What do you guys think? I'm liking it. Here we go. I'm liking it. I will. Okay, folks, we're back. We're out on the deck. We're gonna try resining this tumbler. I went to mix up 20 milliliters of resin and I ended up somehow with about 35. So I have my overflow pyramid tumbler or mold, and I have a new mold that I got from Resin Queen, and I will be pouring into these with what I have left over. I'll just tuck that in there for now, I guess. Okay, so I mixed up my resin, which is Chaos Resin liquid stone epoxy, and it's been sitting for about 5 minutes, and now I'm going to put it on my tumbler, which hopefully is level. I don't know, maybe if I have this many problems going in, it'll end up working out okay. Can only hope. Wish me luck on this. I don't even have paper under there. You know what? Hang on a second, I'll be right back. Alright, here's some extra paper so drips won't be a problem. Triple glove. That way, once I'm done using this hand to spread epoxy, I can take that glove off and I'll still have gloves on if I need anything. Oh, this is not on. Alrighty. Hopefully things are mildly under control, so here we go. I did spray this tumbler after we did the water slides. I let everything dry, and then I sprayed it with Rust-Oleum 2X gloss clear spray, and then I sprayed it with a matte, not a gloss. And I wanted to give the resin something to hang on to, so I figured a matte finish would work better for that. I'll put everything down in the description. So that you'll be able to see the names of everything, even though I'm not describing it very well right now. Oh, dearie, dear, dear, what a day it's been. Okay, well this should all be turned off. I'm muted while I do this in fast motion. I am going to pour, this is something of a mystery, this mold I got in a grab bag sort of thing. And she said, well, pour something in and see what you get. So, easier pouring this way. I'm guessing it's going to look like a crystal when it comes out, so I'm not going to color it or anything. And this resin has bubbles in it, so it won't be any sort of perfect crystal, that's for sure. But I am curious, and then I'll know for next time. And we'll add the rest of her. Okay, I can try and get some of the bubbles out with this. It's a little silicone pointy thing, because I don't want to use anything that would scratch the inside of the mold. I am not going to torch my mold, but I am going to torch this, and just to pop the bubbles, not to try and move the resin around any. I just want to pop bubbles. Okay, that's just going to keep going, and the next time you see this, hopefully it will be all done, or I'll be showing you some problem that happened after I turn the camera off. See you soon. Okay, it's the next morning. It successfully ran all night long. I don't see a problem yet. So let's open it up and take a look at our tumbler. Okay. There it is, folks. We'll take it outside in a minute and get it under the, hopefully some sunshine so you can see the incredible sparkles. There is our cup, our tumbler. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Look at that. Shiny and beautiful and fantastic and gorgeous. I know I said that already, but it's doubly gorgeous. All right, let's see what else we got. Put that over there. We still aren't quite at the top of the pyramid mold, so we'll leave that for a little while longer. I'm curious what we got here. So I suspect this is supposed to be a crystal of some sort. That was my guess yesterday, and I was right. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's got lots of bubbles. I did not worry about micro bubbles, but that sure is lovely. Look at that. It's a diamond. That would make a pretty pendant. All right, let's take our cup outside and do our final look. There it is. Oh, it's so beautiful. Maybe some of the sparkle will come through. Now that we're out here in the sunshine, it is just gorgeous. I can't find a problem. I'm sure a really experienced cup maker could, but I think it turned out perfectly. Considering there were so many places I could have screwed it up along the way. The water slides, the first layer of resin, just so many, and the last layer as well, but I think this turned out so pretty. So at this point it would be done if nobody wanted something on it, or somebody could ask for a name or a decal of anything to be added to the back. So that would require putting the decal on it of the name or whatever, and then yet another layer of epoxy before it would be final. But as is, this be a done cup, and it is gorgeous. I'm so happy. So I'm going to put it up for sale in my Etsy shop. Check it out if you're interested. Thanks everyone. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video.